Okay, YouTube should be up and running. Yeah, I still need to do another test. There we go. It's showing up on the YouTube side. Alright. Yeah, so life's moving. Life's changing a lot. Will be doing my utmost to continue streaming to the best of my ability. By autonomous abilities. Do I want hammer? I think I want hammer. Alright, so I barely remember anything of what's going on. So I don't have a way to break through this, right? I need to come down here, go through the poison, open this up. Oh, there's so much to explore. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. How to leave? I've completely lost my place. Okay, we just keep going. Alright, that's opened up. Dying doesn't really have too many consequences here. It's just gonna be annoying. Oh. Keep on going, keep on going. The upgrade to this attack really increases its expedience. Okay, I see. I see. I see. Nice. My brain's a little bit frazzled, as one can imagine. I don't really feel like using either of these. I don't... Yeah, I don't see why I would use either. Boss? Exploder? Stay away. Everything here belongs to me. I won't lose anymore. Not quite what I expected to find. Ooh, I just don't know the abilities of this thing. Oh. Ow. Dang it. Pushing the wrong button. He's a wrecking ball now. With lasers. This is not how I expected this boss fight to go. I was expecting a little bit more action in the latter half. There we go. Oh. The heck? Yeah, I was expecting that. I was just not sure what the timing would be. Yeah, I just didn't know what the timing was. Okay. I got pretty far the first time through. I guess I could use an autonomous. So I can just focus on defense. Okay, too early. Okay. Ow. I'm so bad at avoiding that. Too early. That's okay. Okay, it can double back. Right, I'm not Silksong Hornet. Ow. Oh, you said it? You done? Okay. So am I not rezzing you this time either? Yeah, I'm rezzing you. Okay. Lord Motley. I'm sorry. Oh, I can't read fast enough. I'm not gonna try to read out loud. I just want it to cold read. Oh, they're turning people into homunculi? That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Was that a memory of House Millis? Did they really turn humans into homunculi? Were you once human? Everything was taken from me. Now collecting garbage is all that brings me comfort. Your name is Motley, isn't it? Thank you, Motley. That seemed like an important memory. Motley, my name, yes. Maybe if I go with you, I can regain more of what I've lost. We're journeying to the upper stratum. That's where your home is, isn't it? Thank you. I don't know what he does. We'll see. Oh, right. Forgot, obviously. Oh, this is it. Excuse me. I managed to find the a supply system core. We should be able to make do with this. Leave the rest to me. That's a relief. We're also getting arcane instrument restoration devices set up in town, so stop by whenever you're there. Relic Refinery. You can use a special resource called Scrap from obtaining enemy parts to slightly improve performance of relics in your possession. Each relic can be improved up to 1 time. By the way, I haven't been able to reach the Chief of Tuner. The Chief of Tuner has the key that activates the lift. Where did they go? Ambiguous language, I imagine it is a sheep. I wish that the wolf ran a bit faster. But I can explore all of these places now. So... So we have a lot of exploration to do now. Now I still don't think I have a way to open that up. Some people are around. That's fine. So we'll explore all over the place. See what there is to see, you know. The more I explore now, the less I have to explore later, right? I mean, this place isn't fresh in my mind by any means, but... So I want to go... I can save the rest of that exploration for later. I want to go down and explore this area. Ow. Lots of ranged enemies. I don't have access to Crow at the moment. Ow. River. Okay. We'll explore down first, I guess. Okay, there's nothing here. Rude. I just got hit by for so much. Just gonna double check. Nothing. I'm just taking unnecessary damage. Don't mind me. A butt ton of unnecessary damage. I just don't remember anything from my previous stint into this area. What's left? So it has to be in this area down here to the left. So it's in here, I think. So it's an underwater dash that I'm missing, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, it's an underwater dash of some kind. So that means let's go here. I can't help what I'm missing, right? So there's a lot to explore all over the place. So let's start with this finite area, I think, or what I assume to be finite. I like the level up system in this game. It encourages exploration. It's not like fully like, it's not the best thing for sure, but it makes it feel like you aren't ever wasting your time when trying to progress. Because as long as you're killing things, and exploring, you're progressing, right? Oh, right, these roly-polies. Letter in a bottle. Lord Maudley, how long has it been since you went missing? Rumor has it that after Lord Kane's death, yours followed shortly after. Nonetheless, we reject Declan as our new lord and anxiously await word of your return. May this letter find you or someone that knows of your whereabouts. Okay, there's a little bit more, so it seems. I forgot which button was jump. I'm just bad at video games. Don't worry about me. Ow. Getting hit by both is not ideal. Ow. Why am I so bad at this? That's clearly not everything. Cleaner's Tag. Increases damage dealt to staggered enemies. I like that. A pendant belonging to a cleaner stationed at a fuel disposal site, where garbage from the upper and lower stratums are discarded. The homunculi tasked with cleaning duties often find themselves assailed by constant shower of falling detritus, and have developed abnormalities as a result. Sure, we can keep exploring in this direction, mostly because I have the tools necessary to explore here now. I do wish I had Crow on me, though. Ah, well, I get my wish now. More damage to staggered enemies is going to be really nice. Or bosses, especially. Ow. I thought it would block it. We just gotta keep on going. I don't have to fight everything. Okay. I might need more movement tech. Lots of it. I need a dash first before jumping. Nope, no movement tech, no mana. Okay. Let's finish exploring this area then. It's not super duper helpful, I'm gonna say for sure. I don't even remember what... Oh, there was a person in this garbage pile, right? There's a secret over here. Materials. Wonderful. Gonna explore every little bit. Every little bit possible. There we go. This place looks terrible. Alright. Life fragment. I have no idea where this leads. Where am I even? Subterranean waterways? There's still a little bit here that I haven't done yet. We can always come back, but yeah, we'll come back in a moment. I mean, this area is literally just right here, right? That's everything here. I do love the environment design though. There's a couple of things I still need to do. I don't know what's missing in this room. Maybe a secret? That guy gave me the ability to swim before us are coming through the haze. I vaguely remember not being able to go up here. Magic Strand Charm. Increased damage dealt by 10% when HP is full. Some information's always good. There's nothing here. So if I want to come over here, I need to go all the way around and up. Just gotta keep going. Oh, interesting. Ow. Okay. Oof, my knee hurts. My knee hurts all the time because I'm old. So I need to break everything because there can be drops from these. Ow. Gosh darn. Yeah, surely I am getting old. Okay, there's no way I can do that. The rats. Hate the rats. Eventually I'm gonna do so much damage, it's gonna blow those things' thoughts off. Ooh, big damage. It's a little hard to tell when they want to attack. There has to be a secret somewhere, right? It doesn't have to be a big one. Just has to be somewhere. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, I don't have any idea where it could possibly be. I need to go down here and around, though, to grab this. I don't have the movement for it. I remember it now. Lots of places to explore. Lots and lots of places to explore. I honestly have no idea what I'm missing here. Oh, hold up, I got a text. That's why I was a little distracted. From the sounds of it, it might be business related. Okay, something I need to deal with in a few hours. Okay, now it's blue? I thought it wasn't blue. Okay, never mind. Then this area here. Nice, nice. If only I was that good at timing normally when I was playing Hollow Knight. Silksong. Oh, hello Alex, welcome, welcome. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't able to figure out how to launch the jar. I've installed Java and whatnot, but I'm running into an execution exception. So apologies for that. Let's see. Still have no idea what I'm missing to explore this area. I can explore this area and explore this area. Let me dash, please. Anyways, hello and welcome. Another text from business. Yay! No more computing coursework is kind of nice, especially since you've thrown yourself so hard at the projects. I imagine being able to breathe a small bit of fresh air is relieving, if anything. I've already gotten that. Yeah. Apparently there was potential data breach on the Warframe side of things. So I need to update some of my information. Pure floral necklace. Pressure abilities? What are pressure abilities? An ornament made up with flowers that grow in the crimson forest, once a lush wilderness of deep azure. The shackled beast, who once guarded the tethered steeple, was given this necklace by a girl with silver hair. Hang on. I think these things just outright have labels, right? Primary pressure. So these are pressure abilities. Cooldown, pressure, auto. I would like my pressure abilities to do more damage. Welcome back, welcome back. Little bit more to explore, it seems. I need to see if there's a high point for me to leap off of, perhaps. That's everything. Nice. Just a little bit more of this area, and I should be done with it. Oh god, the Crimson Forest is a thing I've completely forgotten about. No way for me to do that yet. It's underwater. This I can grab. There's a flower here, left behind by a priestess. Yes, be free, Alex, be free. Yeah, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm an awful exam taker. I don't like taking. I don't like exams in the slightest. I know that there are a few ways to standardize testing of cognitive, like, of, you know, how well someone has learned the material. But I think, I don't know, maybe I'm too greedy with my expectations, but I don't think funneling all of people's skill, or defining everyone's skills and knowledge by their ability to regurgitate information is particularly healthy in the long run for students. Why do I feel like there's something here? There isn't. Nothing here. I hear something over here somewhere. Why? What am I missing? What could I be missing in the slightest? Because these two are not attached, right? So these should be set. No, they count as the same area. Never mind. Okay. Let's see. You're writing for 2.5 hours with no breaks between kills. Yeah. You don't mind exams, but your second and third subjects are essay based, so your fingers are completely. I think like the craziest standard thing for me was hearing about how people, like for instance, when I took my programming classes, right, it was all on paper, so the only way for someone to grade it is either they have a computing mind, right, or they physically or manually implement your code and see if it works, right? And I feel like there's so much potential for human error there. Okay. And that's everything there. We're just doing some exploration here and there before I go back into hell. How much do I have? Let's see. Press 6. Nullify enemy attacks when timed correctly. Leg enhancer. Slot 3. I want that. I want that because it sounds funny. Because if I'm able to apply a dot onto enemies, that's just nice overall. What is slot 3? Oh, it's one of these. On ground. We can get rid of this. This isn't super useful. More movement speed is always nice. Unable to enhance further. More EXP. More damage, more damage. More damage. It requires 5 slots. I think this is the biggest potential damage increase. And then we'll do this just because leveling up is nice. And we'll do this. I need to get more scrap. You set up paper exams for computing. Simplify your code as much as possible. Yeah, no, like I had to do my full implementation. Like no pseudocode, no nothing. I had to like do everything completely and fully. Which I think is fine overall. Because they normally they don't have you writing full full code anyways. It's normally a function or two. There's just stuff over here for me to grab. The reason why I'm running through enemies, as a reminder, is I'm trying to gather scrap. Which, there's only two ways of currently gathering scrap. It's by running through them with a wolf, or slamming them at them from a high enough spot. And slamming at them seems like a pain in the booty. So much of your papers in recent years have been about how algorithms work rather than implementation itself. It's kind of... I think spotting errors is a good thing. It's a good skill to test for. I do think that understanding how code works is also very helpful, because if you're learning about how code works, then you can always implement anything on your own. I don't have a problem with that. I remember when I first learned about linked lists, I was just like always thinking about different ways I could make use of them. But like pointers were such a nuisance subject for so many people. I need movement tech for that. Okay, I need to figure out where I'm going next, is the biggest thing. You haven't seen a linked list in a while? I think you see more recursion than linked lists. Hang on, I just need to get rid of these. Yeah, you definitely see more recursion than linked lists, even though like it's advertised that you will never use, should never be using recursion in standard your coding career, because it's like bad, not bad for memory. But you, like, I think the problem with linked lists is it requires memory access, which a lot of IDEs don't ask for anymore, unless you're doing like C, you know? Well, if you're... Okay, I guess the place you would see linked lists the most is when you're implementing a hash table. Because, or like a dynamic hash table, I guess, would be the place you would be seeing them the most. I don't, because like, and if you're like implementing one and not using, you know, a function to do it for you. That's the only place I can expect to see one regularly. Why do I feel so slow here? I don't think I can make that jump. I want to make that jump. Ow, these things hurt. I think there's a lot of useful, like if you're doing data management, which let's be honest, very few is very infrequent for people to need to handle millions of data points, right? The only times I needed to do so was literally in research where I'm collecting 3D positioning data. And that's the only time I needed to handle large data sets. I don't think most people would be running into that issue. And if you're not using large data sets, there's almost no reason to use a linked list because arrays will always be faster. At least that's my interpretation of the situation. I could be entirely wrong. For those who aren't programming savvy, don't worry about what a linked list is, unless you really want to know. In which, think of like an array as a neighborhood of, like, let's say it's a neighborhood, right, of addresses, or like, you know, a sheet of paper with all of your neighbors' addresses on it, right? And then no, that's a bad way to say it. It's just a neighborhood, and in order to access any of the doors, you have to know which door to knock on, right? What a linked list is basically, say, a bus between neighborhoods, right? So if you ever need to go to like the 700th door, you wouldn't take like go there by foot. You would take a bus, right? Like, and then the bigger the data set, right, the bigger the city that you're trying to explore, right, you'll eventually want to introduce a metro system. That's what, a doubly linked list, I think? I hated implementing, oh yeah, trees! Like, data trees are also, like, they have to be linked lists, right? I think hashes and trees require linked lists to function, so at least to some degree. I guess you can have one be programmed dynamically. Levy! Yol? Thank goodness you're alive. That's my line. I've been looking all over for you. Sorry for making you worry. You've been collecting junk all this time? I thought I told you to stop. It's not safe. You know how it is. Everyone's got to pull their weight. Gordon can't do everything. Here, I want you to have this. Thanks for helping, y'all. Mutated mineral. A rare mineral excavated from the Magicite mine, permeated with fossilized blight. A curious item unearthed by Levy. Someone else may have a further insight to offer. Okay. So yes and no. If you're structuring a linked list like an array, then it makes it pointless, right? Oh, I should be reading this. You know, I thought I'd never see Yol again, but I made a wish and then you found him. I hope life gets easier for everyone in the lower stratum. If I make another wish like that, maybe it'll come true again. This is my way of helping. You know how dangerous it is outside, especially when you're alone. You sound just like Gordon, but you know I can take care of myself. Besides, I'm not alone. Anyway, see you around. Okay. What does she mean by not alone? Okay, so think of this way. I'm going to talk in programming mumbo jumbo for a moment. So, in programming, a class is basically a data set. Like, it has a very specific amount of data on it. You can have a name, you can have an address, you can have like all sorts of information in a class or a struct. I don't think anyone uses structs anymore, but I still use them. But that's besides the point. So think of a household as a class. It has all this information, right? Now, when you're trying to sort through the information, right, it wouldn't make sense to sort through them like with a single identifier, right? So, Alex, the way that you're interpreting it is correct, but it's the implementation of the node that's important. If you're having just a node know each other, then it's kind of meaningless, right? Because then you could just have a dynamic array, right? And unless like you're constantly changing the data set, then dynamically allocated arrays are bad, right? Which is another reason why to have a linked list. But the thing about a linked list by itself, by its own nature, it doesn't know how long the list is unless you're counting in one way or another. As well as it doesn't know how many brothers it has or sisters, right? It doesn't know how long a given branch is. But that is also a linked list strength because it doesn't care, right? So that's why you use it in trees or hashes, or you use parallel linked lists. So think of it this way. Like if you are managing datasets worth hundreds of millions of data points, like a city's registry, right? You probably want to use a linked list to organize it by by certain categories, right? So that's where hash tables come in, right? You have them point to relevant data points, you know? They know who... Okay, nodes only know who they're pointing to. They don't know who's pointing to them. Or how, like, that's all they know. Like, if they know the information that you've given them. If you're making a doubly linked list, meaning that they point in both directions and you can explore in both directions, then they will know what the parent is. But under most circumstances, on a normal linked list, it only knows who the next one is. It doesn't know who the parent is. It doesn't know who the head is. Well, it might know the head because you're going to be defining the head most of the time. But that's besides the point. Warning. The burrowed beasts, they attack when their burrow is approached. These creatures are able to detect and consume magicite, and are presently being studied at the Biological Research Facility. However, if you come across any, eliminate them as they impede our survey. The Lower Stratum Death Survey team has already suffered enough casualties to report eliminations to Squad Leader Lars. Under most circumstances, yeah, nodes don't know anything. Gotta assume nodes are pretty dumb. So I need to run all the way across here. Ow. That hurt. Ow. Get out of here. Yeah. But you can also make nodes point to other information, right? That's the biggest thing, I think, that you're missing, is that you can always have them point to other parts of your dataset. Oh, interesting. There. Okay, I think I can do this. I don't have any healing left. No, I can't do this. Okay, I need to go up and around. Yeah. You can... That's what I mean by doubly linked lists or trees. You can have an infinite number of branches. That's why linked lists are an important topic, is because, you know, it's like there's more than one way to sort information. How am I going to do this? So think of like having an array that's sorted in like 7 different ways, you know? Yeah. Linked lists, you under most circumstances, that's referred to as graph theory, right? If I'm not mistaken. Worried? Okay. The fumes affect both humans and homunculi. You have been exposed to them for some time now. How are you feeling? I'm okay for now, but the deeper we go, the harder it gets. Humans are far more fragile than homunculi. If you feel discomfort, do not hesitate to speak up. Worried about me? Insofar as it would impede me. That's rude, come on. Be a little nicer, couldn't you? Well, I wouldn't say that they are necessarily just linked lists, but you know. Yeah. So, like, the point of a linked list isn't to just point to one other thing. A linked list, a node, is something that you define on your own. It can be a struct or a class, and you are the one that defines the pointers that class points to, right? So, if you define a class with 100, like, children to point to 100 different nodes, it can do that, right? But I think that, like, wait, you study primarily, or your main coding language is in Java, so I'm surprised that's not covered for you, though. It's a little weird for me. Because, like, I thought that would be fairly integral. You might not be learning data structures and algorithms, though. So that's okay, then. Wait, I thought it was going to burst into fire, not shoot projectiles. That might be worse. That might be better. We'll see. Well, no, I mean, like, data structures and algorithms as a whole class, right? I took... What my favorite 2 classes were data structures and algorithms 1 and 2. Oh my god. I need to jump later. Where it's the sole focus is to learn about Oh my gosh. I'm so annoying. I need to double jump more, even if I'm just tapping it. Don't worry guys, I'll get it. Dang it. Not so dumb. Yeah, so yeah, if you have any questions regarding that, I do have a pretty decent memory. I think it's the only textbook I read from front to back. So yeah, that's how a hash table is constructed. It's an array of nodes that oh my god. It's an array of nodes that you can point in any direction. There we go. Oh, what the blazes is that? Hang on. Oh god. Okay. Ow. Rude. Nice. Is that's not everything. Hang on. What do you mean there's more? There's something up there. The heck? Weird. The list structure doesn't know anything, or shouldn't know anything. Because you're the one that defines the structure. The structure has itself stores no information. The lists themselves, or the nodes themselves, store the location of their children. They don't know anything about their children unless you give them that information. Okay, way to be annoying. And I could be wrong. The paradigm might have changed, but from what I understand, the structure itself is something that's user defined. So they have very little reason to, like, the structure can't store information as a result of that, right? You know, I don't need to fight you. Survey Team Gauntlet increases the intensity of status effects inflicted on enemies by 10%. A sturdy gauntlet that was equipped by the lower stratum depth survey team. As the blighted fumes grew even thicker, the survey team was equipped with specialized bodies and equipment to help withstand it. Okay. So it's over here. Whatever that is. Hang on. Get rid of that. I wouldn't be surprised if almost all neural networks were some form of a complex linked list, though. It makes a lot of sense given that it's almost... Oh, hang on. We need to deal with this. Ow. Hang on, hang on. I wouldn't be surprised if given how difficult it is to manage a linked list is when you don't know anything about it. Well, yeah, that makes total sense to me now. Yeah, I haven't thought about linked lists in a long time. Love that stuff. Just gonna shoot it from here. Okay. I am not 100% sure what to do. Ow. Yeah, that makes total sense to me because, like, if you want to have a non-uniform structure that can define its own number of children, it has to be some form of linked list, right? It's at least a two-dimensional linked list, I think, at that point. Oh, okay. I guess I know a little bit more about neural networks than I thought I would. Just by happenstance. Of course, I don't know all of it, but, like, if you have a neural network of, like, several million nodes, of course no one's going to be able to analyze that. They should not be giving learning algorithms, like, unmitigated access to information like that. So I guess in some degree we've all interacted with linked lists then. I can't imagine, like, there could be another way of storing information because my education is really out of date. But I can't imagine another data structure that would be simple enough to make sense to use. Because you wouldn't use, like, dynamically allocated arrays because there's no point, because there's no way to organize that data dynamically. Anyways, I'm just talking out the wazoo at this point. Love the music of this game, though. Gonna quickly return to that tangent. I love talking about, like, coding theory, even though I haven't done much coding of any variety in the last little bit. But, like, you can see that since I've nerded out, like, I probably lost the attention of, like, 90% of viewers. Okay, so I'm gonna come from, like, go down and around in some fashion here. This place is way less difficult than the rats. The rats were awful. So I'm learning that killing things with environmental damage also gives me scrap. So I don't have to worry about actually obtaining it. I'm going out of my way to obtain it. And there's something up there I have no idea how to get at the moment. Materials. Can't heal. Nola scared the bejeebus out of me. Bench. Very nice. Hey, big guy, mind if I ask you something? Hmm? You talking to me, kid? Yeah. Only, I don't know your name. Couldn't tell ya. Still don't remember it, besides, the shackled beast suits me better. What's the thing you're always smoking? Perfume. Helps me keep a clear head. Think of it like a tranquilizer. Don't get getting too curious, though. It ain't for kids. Don't worry, I've inhaled enough crap to last me a lifetime. That's kind of cute. Ooh, Blazing Fist. Sweet. Let's swap this over. What the? You again? Oh god. I was expecting for him to actually melee me. Jesus. Lars, you're very annoying to deal with. He ran off again. What a bugger. Probably a homunculus from the lower stratums depth survey team. Okay. I was down here with myself once, but nothing could handle the fumes here. I remember hearing from an attuner that they had to cook up some extra sort of special team to sniff around the depths. If that homunculus was able to withstand the depths, it is not to be taken lightly. It appears we face a formidable opponent. And that ain't the worst part. It looks like the fumes down here eventually got to him too. Oh. I'm not dealing with you, sir. It's so weird that they have biomechanical homunculi that look like that. Because they don't look severely mutated like you would expect. I don't think this thing can reach me. Just gonna check these walls just in case. You never know. Yeah, you never know. Oh, what is that? I wonder if we're gonna run into monstrosities from, like, Ender Lilies. Oh my god, they do so much damage. I wonder if she's still... there's still critters or white priestesses around trying to... That means the final boss fight that I did might not be the actual canon ending. I'm not fighting you guys. It's not worth the hassle. This is going to be so jank. Okay. I might get a the ability to deal with things. Alex, just a reminder not to get too distracted. You still have 1 day of stuff to complete, right? You're not totally free just yet. Yeah, in fact, I think I was trying to use a linked list in my game. Because I was trying to handle complex data structures. Huh. Except, like, I don't think, what was it? GY handles memory access, nor should it. So I'm making a pseudo linked list with characters. Oh. There we go. Don't worry, you have a plan to take the rest of the day off. You locked in too hard this turn. Easter break starts today, so you got 2 weeks off. That's good. That's good. I hope you're having fun with this newfound technology. I don't know how you pronounce it, like a meme, technologia or whatever. How much of this dashing stuff do you want me to do, game? This whole area is full of it. Okay, we've broken through. You are trying to work out how you can define how many child nodes a node can have without defining how many it can have. Okay, do you want a hint or do you want to figure it out? No, this is gonna be so annoying. Yeah, if you want to grind your gears for a bit, sure. I think that's like one of the most fun parts of programming. Oh my god, it's gonna be so annoying to deal with. Let me get into your space, please. There we go. Ow, ow, ow. Rude. Ow, ow. I keep not being able to see these. I guess we're just fighting him Enzy style. If I just go underneath him, he can't hit me, right? Or at least he'll have a lot of trouble. There we go. No! Really? What? Who's Lilac? What? We're just gonna very casually eat through these things' HPs. I feel like as a gamer, I don't like to take very many risks. I know that it's not necessarily the most entertaining way to go about it, though. At least entertaining to view. Oh, shoot. Because, like, a lot of my enjoyment out of games is how I can figure, like, I see gaming as a puzzle a lot of the time, whereas more so about the achievement, more so than of completing it, as opposed to actually fully challenging myself. The challenge is the figuring out the puzzle. At least for me. It's less about skill and more about puzzle solving. So that's why I don't like reaction-based puzzle or bosses. Because it doesn't feel like a puzzle anymore. It feels more like I have to like bash my head against the wall until I fail or succeed. It would appear that we're not the only ones down here. That won't do. We can't have people running around here. I see you're a tuner. Not one I recognize, though. I'm Jiran, Chief of Tuner, and you are? Lilac, I think. I can't remember much more before I woke up. All I know for certain is that I fell to the lower stratum. I believe a woman with white hair may have saved my life. A woman with white hair? I see, and a tuner Lilia raised. No wonder I didn't recognize you. Lilia? Is that her name? It was probably her, although I haven't seen her in a long time myself. I have to make my way up, find Lilia. If it's the central stratum you need to get to, you'll need the grand lift back in working order. I'm afraid I can't give you the key, but I can activate the lift for you at the back of the old city. Thank you. No, not to worry. We've been trying to get the lift back and up and running ourselves. What were you two doing down here? I've been looking into the land of origin, trying to find the cause of the blighted fumes. There's some sort of old barrier blocking the way ahead, though. I'll have to come back later. Old barrier. Well then, back to the old city for me. I'll be seeing you. Chief of Tuner, did he? Looks like the core's still intact. That's a relief. My character, Nola, the underbelly of the lower stratum is a source of magic. This is the land of origin. I can't believe it truly exists. The blood contamination was greatly underestimated. Commencing investigation of the depths. Look. A child in the land of origin? What is it doing here? Oh, I'm a descendant of Lily. Okay. Blood of the Frost Priestess. You two help me. We must save this child. A lilac? A woman's voice. Yes, the child's name. Are you certain you wish to do this, Lilia? Yes, I am ready. I can't go to the Frost Estate, but we must protect this child at all costs. I see. It was then. I was in the line of origin? Nola and Lilia. What does that mean? We knew each other? I don't know. Just what were those memories? You have lifted a hand against the very child. To have lifted a hand against the very child I was asked to save. How could I ever hope to atone for this? I am incapable of destroying my own core. Don't say that. We've both hurt each other. But thanks to you, I've learned a little more about myself. But there's still so much I don't know about this world and myself. Come with me, please. If that is what you wish for. Upon my honor As a member of this lower stratum dev survey team, I pledge to follow wherever you go. Lars' grip. In air, press D when facing the wall. I'm going to assume it's A or D. Lars' equipment can be used to cling to walls with it. One may avoid enemies and traverse new paths. Okay. Okay, I got wall cling. Nice. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you have... I'm gonna read... This is a message from Alex. So you've done a slightly dodgy thing of putting the children into an array list. Okay. So yeah, you can have a dynamically set array. That's one way of doing it for sure. You just need to have something keeping track of, you know, like you, of course you could just run the min-max functions, or max functions, but I would assume that it would be more convenient just to store the current number of items in the array, and whatnot too. Also, there's a... Oh god, this stuff hurts! Ah! One big thing to consider is that if you have a array of classes, right, and you don't want to dynamically set the array, you can always have the last class in the array point to a new array. You know, fully restore HP when Lilac is below 15% of maximum HP. One time use between respites. What did I get? Obtain a totem. Okay, I got a totem. This music reminds me of Kingdom Hearts. Does anyone else feel that? Oh, I honestly wasn't expecting a wall cling though. So I'm missing something here. It's gotta be like over here. What am I missing? I have no idea what I'm missing in this room. Oh, you know what? There might be a secret that I don't know where it is. It's okay. Like over here, for instance. Yeah, it could be that a large number of large language models are inherently scuffed simply because they don't have memory limitations like one would expect. It's an interesting little conundrum to run into. So that's why they constantly need new data centers, is because from quote-unquote AI's inception, it was never meant to be memory efficient. Which is something that grinds my gears a lot, because like that's the one thing I care about when I code. And like it might be superfluous of me to do so. Increase break damage dealt to enemies. don't know. Maybe I'm too like high-strung about that. That's why I can never get any of my projects done though. It's because I'm always trying to make sure that my code is efficient, even though I'm not very good at it. We're just gonna... Oh, there's more. Okay. I guess if you're gonna ask me what way I would go about correcting that, I would probably give it a limit to how much brain power it has to prioritize efficiency of neurons, as opposed to just having neurons for everything and not deleting anything. Let's see. Oh, so let's see. You're not talking about geometric vectors, though, right? You're talking about vectors as in the data structure, which is essentially dynamically allocated arrays that can self-grow. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate vectors. Why? Okay, I'm nerding out too much. I'm nerding out too much. Component that can... Okay, sweet. Cool. Cool beans. Okay, what am I missing here? If you ever wonder what it's like to have someone being driven mad by knowledge, you know, I feel like, to a certain extent, that's me. Increase the damage dealt by 20% and... Okay, sure. Sweet. Because I feel like so frequently I drive myself insane with all of this malarkey. And I'm just like, I'm gonna dive into the thing because I'm interested and curious about the thing. Okay, so Spirit Piercer should be... the only thing I care about right this second. I think I just dive way too deep into certain rabbit holes that I really shouldn't. Because it constantly causes me issues in my day-to-day life. Okay, it's this room. Let's see. You think it's fun to get really deep into topics like this? You're actually seeing use cases now, unlike... That's good. That's good. I hope, like, it has been more fun, kind of informative than, like... I try hard not to, like, make it sound like I'm a know-it-all, you know? But, like, I feel like... And you can see evidence of this in games, which is what annoys me, is, like, how it took a long time for game developers to be like, hey, we should probably be making more efficient code so everyone can, you know, consume our product, right? Instead of blaming people. Which is insane to me. I'm starting to get a real feel for the way I play this game now. Oh, interesting. What are you doing here? Hey guys. You guys are here too? Levy, are you okay? What are you doing here? Don't worry about me. I can run real fast if there's trouble. Oh yeah, wanted to show you something. Do you know what this is, Lilac? Frost Vestige. Arcane instrument adorned with stylings of symbolic of House Frost. It appears to be damaged beyond repair. The name Cassia is engraved on it. It doesn't look like something House Millis would come up with. It looks handmade. It looks like someone lost it. Give it back to them if you run into them, okay? It's all scratched up, so I can't make it out, but there's a name on here. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Levy, there's something I want to ask you. What did you mean by you said that you're not alone? The last time we met. I'm sorry, you'll have to find a new partner. I guess I should introduce you. Hey Van, where are ya? Van? Sorry, it looks like Van isn't around at the moment. What kind of partner does that? I'm gonna go look. Van's hopeless without me. See ya. Sounds bad. That name, Van, I guess she really did think I wasn't coming back. Aww. Okay, this is done. Nice. I think I have almost all of the movement options now. Not all of them for sure, but getting close. Getting close. I mean, it happens, right? Like, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of this knowledge is fairly antiquated, and unless you're maintaining old or a data set, a really large data set, or you're trying to create your own software that, you know, does something unique. For instance, I think a game like Luck Be a Landlord uses linked lists. I'm not 100% sure, because games like that confuse me in terms of their coding, but... Increase attack power. Restores HP per second. Activates when damage is taken. Oh, I'm so hungry. I should go eat. We're just gonna invest in some magic battles. Oh. Welcome, my savior. As you can see, I aspire to continue serving, now in the blah blah blah. It is a shame, however, that the work is so mundane. It is not a posting that makes use of my qualifications. Hmm? Oh my, the mineral you're carrying. If I may, could I inspect it? It appears to have a fossilized form of the blight trapped within. Most unfortunate, for it is otherwise a fine specimen. Isn't there anything we can do? Such a specimen can be prone to chipping. It will need to be cut with the utmost care. Fortunately, this is a task I am uniquely qualified for. It has been too long since I made use of my skills. I shall get to work right away. Behold, see how it glows. Charmed ore. Okay. Wow, it looks so vivid. There are likely many such magic articles to be found in the depths of the lower stratum, where the land of Lorigin is said to lie. Should you require anything else, please let me know. I shall only be too happy to be of service. I will, thank you. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, I feel like you only ever want to use linked lists or anything, like any form of list with large datasets or complicated datasets. It doesn't have to be large necessarily. Like, for instance, if you're storing an entire classroom full of students and you want to sort them in a certain way, that's where a hash table comes in, right? Or a tree. Or if you're doing math, there are a couple of math problems that are easier with trees, for instance. Scrap obtained from destroying enemy parts. Okay. I kind of wish that the grapple was a little bit more dynamic. But begging choosers and the like. I think this will just overall be helpful. Especially since I have an extra relic slot. Now, I used to be a lot more critical of an individual as a kid, or as a young adult even. So, I understand now that's not necessarily helpful to anyone, to just outright be critical. So, anything I can do to help, you know, improve someone's understanding of a situation. The Grand Lift is there. I can probably solve this now, right? And definitely this. I can definitely solve this now. I feel like the lift is a point of no return. I could be wrong. So, we're just gonna explore a little bit. I feel like time has flown by, but it's only been 2 hours. It's a little weird. Uh, I'm not sure what other data structures... Like, I spent a lot of time learning different types of sorting algorithms, because sorting algorithms are a great way to learn about data structures. I'm so confused at where whatever I'm missing could be. No. There it is. Okay, more materials, more good. Like, so this is something I didn't learn about, but, like, algorithmic encoding is such an interesting thing. In fact, when I learned about algorithmic encoding, I wanted to try to solve the problems it had. So, imagine, okay. Imagine this is how cool it is. Let me geek out for a moment. Let me geek out. So, you know how zip folder or like zips or RARs, they can compress a large amount of data into a smaller amount of space, right? So, algorithmic encoding, it has been solved. It has been solved, by the way. I wanted to do so, but it doesn't matter. Someone solved it in a very elegant way. So, yeah, like compression. So, with algorithmic encoding, with a very finite amount of memory, you can store almost infinite amount of information. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So, it's slow. It's slow, but you can compress enormous amounts of information, or even encrypt enormous amounts of information. It's so crazy to me. So basically, think about it this way: if I give you like a 10-digit number, right? Like a billion is a 10-digit number, right? So let's say like 2,400 something million, blah 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 blah. And you can take this number and be able to decompose it so that it can provide you with information. And every step of the decomposition, it equates into something else that you can use it to... yeah, so it's basically just storing a large data set in a single number, right? I don't understand it well enough anymore to properly explain it, but essentially think of it this way: if you could store information using math, right? So basically, you have to... Yeah. So think of it this way: you have one blue apple and two red apples, right? So every time you get a blue apple, let's say you store the number 0.75 or 75. Yeah, 0.75, right? And then you start with the number 1, you multiply 0.75. Now the value is 0.75. Next item you have is a red apple. Let's say it's 0.25, right? Then you multiply that in. Now you have or let's do something simpler, 0.5, right? And then that becomes 3.2 or 0.325. No, you don't. It's all math. It's all math. So now the end result you have is 0.325, and then you multiply it again by the next red apple, which is 0.5, right? which is going to bring it down to, what is it, like a 0.1625. And then now, as long as you know where to start, you can back decompile it so you can see, like, okay, so it's within this range, and then you can see, okay, it's within this range. That means, and we know it starts with Apple. Yeah. So the problem is because it uses decimals. There was no way to have infinite precision, right? But someone solved it. Someone solved this, and he was like, okay, this could change the world, so I'm gonna make it an open patent, right? And the most frustrating thing happened. I forgot if it was Sony or Nintendo or Disney, but someone came in and says, okay, this open patent, we're gonna claim it as our own. And we're going to make sure that no one else can encode anything this way. At least do so and make money. And I'm just like, why? That literally solves so... Well, that's the thing. They didn't require decimals. They did so with whole numbers. And they essentially resorted to, if I'm not mistaken, they resorted to something like logarithmic expansion to say, like, oh, if it's past this many digits, we're just going to truncate it. Truncate it and turn the like largest least yeah. So yeah. Like you can look it up on YouTube. You can look up algorithmic encoding, and like I would, like, when I was planning to try to do it myself last year to solve it, I was looking stuff up to get a refresher on it, and because I needed it for my game, right? Don't ask why. And then I found out that someone solved it. And I was just like, oh gosh darn it, someone solved it. And then it's like, yeah, they had an open patent. Yeah, this guy rocks. But a big old company decided to be a patent troll and steal it. Why? Like, that, like, you can store entire and encrypt entire government datasets, all willy-nilly, however you want. With, like, think of it this way: you can store trillions of petabytes of information on like 1 megabyte. Like, or even less. Even it might even be kilobytes. I don't know the algorithm exactly. But, like, could you think of that? Being able to store long term. And if it's just like a kilobyte worth of information, you could store it on paper. You know? Isn't that like, think of it this way. You have the fattest amount of information possible. And you can store it. Like, you can store an entire brain for a fully developed MLM, machine learned, LLM, large language learning model, right? You can store it all on a piece of paper if you just if you dissect it all into bytes and whatnot, and you can essentially make them immortal, right? Okay, I sound way too excited. Apologies, but you can tell that I'm still a coder at heart, even though, yeah. One slightly unfortunate thing, I will, like, my timetable has completely changed, so I will need to completely change my streaming times and days in the near future. Sweet, that's not bad. That's something unfortunate that's going to happen. Period. Because, you know, I still can't do this stuff full time, right? So until I can, I have to, you know, follow the whims of work. I'm not going to get into anything else like that, but oh yeah, like if you had infinite time, it's like you could store so much information. And here's the thing, once we start using it, we're going to find better ways of decompiling the information. Like there's almost 100% like a way to skip ahead or do parallel processing. Normally I don't like second chance totems, like the one that I currently have, but it's also the first one I've acquired, so it's kind of whatever. So we can go up here. Oh, sure, found it. Found the secret. Okay. I'm just doing all of the exploration I can before anything else. I guess I have to go up here now. There's a little bit I can explore. We'll do that. Yeah, just look it up. Just look it up. It's like ultra fascinating to me. I don't know. I feel really good talking about this stuff because I feel like people that I normally gush about this stuff to don't understand what I'm talking about. So it's like, you know, and if you guys watching at home don't like this coding stuff, I'm sorry. Okay, just leave a comment to tell me to stop. But like, I hope you enjoy my excitement. Anyways, Lilac. It's taken us a while, but the Grand Lift should be up and running soon. Wait. Could you tell me more about Lilia? I think she was someone important to me. Lilia was most gifted a tuner. She was raised to be the next head of House Frost. When the other tuners retreated to the central stratum, Lilia chose to remain in the lower stratum to better help homunculi. She had a kind heart and a reassuring smile. Everyone loved her. She was the best of us. But Lilia had a falling out with House Frost, didn't she? What happened? It isn't my place to say. You'll just have to find and ask her yourself. All done, and the magic supplies restored. Phew. Heath ended up doing most of it. You got us this far. You should be the first to take it up. The attuners operate out of the central stratum. I'm sure we'll bump into each other again. Okay. Yeah! I'm going to finish exploring first. Bonked my head. Keep bonking my head. SP gauge? I still don't know what SP is for, so. I wonder how they managed to do it for large amounts of data. If the data needs to all be stored in memory. So the thing is, right, that the number that is being stored doesn't store the data itself, right? It by itself is a reflection of it, right? Or it is a shadow cast by the data to look at it. So if you, and basically it cuts up the data and applies it to the number like an equation. So As long as you have the equation, and the number, you're always able to decompose it. So it theoretically doesn't matter how much data you have, right? As long as you know how many times you need to run the equation, right? Finally, we're almost at the central stratum. Yes, thanks to you. No, it was thanks to all of you. I could never have done it this by myself. Give yourself some credit. You're a skilled and courageous tuner. Is courage? Is it courage or something else? Don't mutated homunculi scare you even a little? I don't remember much from before I fell. I think I had a strong bond with homunculi. If I have the power to help them, I owe it to myself to try. Let us hope we can find Lilia. If you did indeed fall from above, she should be in the central stratum. Yeah, I hope we find her. She's probably going to be a mutated mess. This is always how it ends up. Is this water falling from above? Oh man, I wanna take a look into all that again. Why is the homunculus in the service of the Lord here of all places? Yep. Yep. If you just keep feeding it, you can indefinitely give it or indefinite amounts of information. Central City is done for. Oh, that's a great sign. Determination. From what I saw in Lars's memories, you and Lilia were in the land of origin. Nola, do you remember anything about Lilia? Not a thing. I wonder why that is. Was the memory truly so insignificant, or am I being incapable of sentiment? When we met at the subterranean testing site, you said I seemed familiar. So it isn't as if we can't remember anything at all. We know we've met before. That is true. Okay, it wants me to get all of these. Okay, so stun. Why is it called stun when it does 0 break damage? Okay, so it has a chance of increasing... Okay, sure, whatever. How awful. Who did this? Oh, that's the homunculus that people were talking about. So, there remains a survivor. Boss fight? Look around you. At the Reign of Death. Is this your doing? Reign of Death? And a tuner carrying the blood of the ancients should have been dealt with sooner. Why have you done this? I'm Gilroy, and as administrator, it is my duty to protect this nation. Detestable public of Abelia, I will cut you down with my own hand. I don't know your moveset. Ow. No. Oh, I thought I blocked that. No, no, no. You don't keep track of how many bytes you've gone through. You keep track of the number you started with. Just to clarify. You technically don't even need to know how many iterations you've done. It should be inherently recursive. Okay, that was too early. Let's turn on the owl, because I'm not going to be able to shoot him at all on my own. Okay, we'll try this. I don't know how good it's going to be. Ooh, rude. Okay. Ow. Okay. I should probably try to dash more instead of countering. Countering isn't actually being useful if I don't know what the timings are. I can't read chat right this second, for obvious reasons. I got caught. Okay. You just run the reverse of the calculation until you reach the number that you've gotten to. Because the key thing about algorithmic encoding is that it should be impossible to reach the original number without reaching the it's not possible to randomly like run into it, is what it should be, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. Too early. Oh, haven't seen that attack before. Oh. But then again, like, I'm woefully underread on the subject. Like, it's just something I learned when I was dealing with, like, when I was learning encoding in a completely separate class from mine. Okay. Too early? Come on, come get me. There we go. Time to end this. Is it gonna explode? Lilac, stand back. Something isn't right. It can't be. What are you doing here? You know me? Who are you? At my limit. need to replace. So this is it. Gilroy, a homunculus, called himself the nation's administrator. The cause of my nightmares, it's him. The one that sealed me away. I'm certain of it. He's in the upper stratum. We'll find him, Nola, together. I feel like I've hit you with a couple of, like, I've hit you with a double whammy, right, of information at this point. Yes, I wish to see his core destroyed by my own hand. Attuner arts? Whoa, what the heck? And, what? Okay, Attuners entrust their magic to tuned homunculi, enabling them to use unique and powerful attacks. These abilities are attuners and attuner specialty. Okay. When SP gauge is filled, press Control along with the respective button to unleash a powerful skill, especially a powerful skills known as Attuner Arts. Attuner Arts can destroy enemy parts. SP gauge can be... okay, cool. That's cool, that's cool. And Lilac, you're safe. Attuners of the Central Stratum, they... That mutant again. All the survivors in the Central Stratum. If only we'd arrived sooner. I just can't believe it. The homunculus that was meant to protect the head of the house has turned into one of the worst mutants. I don't want to see anyone else die. We have to stop Gilroy. I hear you, but it's easier said than done. Look, we're here to help. That's why we brought this restoration device. With it, we can repair arcane instruments and amulets. You'll need an attuner to decipher the runes after all. Thank you. Also, after Gordon found out the Grand Lift was working again, he said he'd get a craft reset up here as well. I'm going back down to the lower stratum for now. Come see me sometime. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it a little bit early today because I have a lot of things to do. But like, feel free to hit me up, Alex, with any messages you have, or if you want to pick my brain on certain things. I love talking about this stuff, even if I have no idea what's going on. I love learning about it. The chief attuner mentioned that he was going back to lower stratum. Maybe he still has business down in the crystalline realm. Okay. We're gonna just sit and call it for now. Cause yeah, once again, I've gotten extra busy lately. I'll try to stream the full amount on Saturday, but I can't guarantee that I can be able to. These 3 weeks are gonna be a little rough for me. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening to me blabber about programming stuff. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I do enjoy talking about this stuff, but there's other things I can nerd out over. We just gotta find out what it is, you know. So if you're watching in the future and you got through all of this, please leave a comment down below, leave a like, you know, subscribe if you haven't already, or hype up the video if you're from the future. Anyways, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all for watching, and ta-ta for now.